I think that people like you are destroying this country. I legitimately feel like if
True, called it. Let's go.
this country falls, it's because of this hand-wringing that happens for Donald Trump.
And that's it. Case closed. Like, debate one.
Stuck with me and all of the millions of people who agree with me. So what are you going to do with us? Like, you're stuck with us. You have to convince us, or you know what I mean? There's no other option.
That's my goal. My goal is to have a conversation and convince
but telling
you.
me I'm destroying the country is not going to convince me.
I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying it for the audience. That's the difference, right? It's because if I can't communicate with you, then I have to communicate to other people.
You are communicating with me.
I'm not. I can't. We can't share. Okay, I mean, like. But like, if somebody's like, oh, I think that we should just have a king, right? Well, that's not very compatible with American values, right? We agree with that. There has to be like some set of like.
He literally does actually think that Destiny thinks that conservatives think that they want a king, which is Trump.
Do you agree that like we have to live in the same reality, regardless of like any moral like similarities we might have? That we have to live in the same reality?
Yeah, we should live in the same reality, but that doesn't mean we should have the same opinions as you.
If we both say, for instance, we should be kind and compassionate to people, and a person says that I think that compassion is sending my gay kid to a re-education camp to get away the gayness, and another person says, well, I think that kindness is accepting my child as they are and not trying to force them into a different sexuality, right? Both of them can share that value of kindness, but they're coming from a completely different place. There's no shared commonality there. So, like something is completely different between the two, right?
You know what? There's only one way to stop the first parent from doing that and make them become the second person. The second kind of parent, and it's by being in conversation with them. It's not by saying you're destroying this country.
Yeah, but
when yeah, literally, just calling other people delusional or destroying the country is not changing the other person's mind or.
Come on, you know that was a joke.
I think that people like you are destroying this country. I legitimately feel like if
True, called it. Let's go.
this country falls, it's because of this hand-wringing that happens for Donald Trump. You have no standard of behavior for him. You will make an unlimited amount of excuses. You will compare a Joe Biden misspeak to how Donald Trump conducts it. It is sad that we don't share it. So like I said, like all these policies.
Like Destiny, I don't even need to like bring it up. I guess like, but Destiny literally was talking about. He went on someone's show and he when there was the assassination attempt, the first one. Like if someone ends up getting like deleted at Trump's rally, that's what you get. Basically, that's what he would say. That's what he would say these terrible things about them. Like everyone who watches Destiny knows his takes on that. And I'm like, bro, he's a joke. He's literally just a joke.
Policy discussions don't matter because you don't live in the same reality. You won't admit that Donald Trump, like, I'm curious, do you think that...
I feel so convinced that you and I have shared values and you're trying to call me destroying the country. Like, doesn't that give you pause? Like, I think we have a lot in common. I'm trying to get to the policy conversations.
I agree. I think there's
everything
people
that we have in common. We probably both want Americans overall to prosper and to be safe and to have beautiful families and to be able to provide for them in dignity. You know, like I can't.
I understand that. I agree with that, and I agree.
I'm trying to be like, let's find out like what we agree on because there's so much there, and you're like, you're destroying this country.
Do you think that people that send their gay children to reprogramming camps, do you think that they love their children?
That's such an interesting question. I've never thought about that before. Let me think about it.
Destiny's trying to get her in a gotcha question, but it ends up backfiring on him so badly. And then he completely pivots off. Like, bro, you keep jumping from topic to topic and you're talking about, oh, we need to talk about one thing. We need to stay on one topic. I'm like, bro, why would you bring this up? Like, this is so random.
Where's Neri? She seems reasonable for a lefty.
Yeah, true. Yes.
You mean because it's harmful, but they're doing it out of love?
Yes.
Is that the conundrum?
Well, it's not a conundrum. It's that just because you have a shared value of like an emotional or like a moral value that you share doesn't mean that you'll align on anything else. I'm sure that the Germans that supported Hitler, right? Probably legitimately, I doubt they were all like, we're just doing this because we hate the Jews.
I started this by saying, I don't think we agree on much, but I would rather be in a we with you than in a country without you.
Trump. Destiny's so like, he's so he's so Trump bad brain that all the takes that he has is all the comparisons that he tries to make in order to like make people understand is like the worst takes possible. Like, why would you, right after talking about like Trump like, why do you go to these analogies? Why are these the first things that pop up after like when you can't figure out like whether you can you know what? Just keep going.
Because I think we share values, and if I can't convince you, I have to work harder. Like, it's not even a question of. It would never occur to me to think that you're destroying this country. I think that you're a patriot who disagrees with me on issues, and I'm. Like,
but we can't. You understand there are some disagreements
in the conversation with you.
You understand there are some.
The idea that you could look at me because of some random person who neither of us has ever met and say that I'm destroying the country over some third party. Who, like,
the president of the United States.
I find that so.
It's still a third party.
We have to live in the same reality, regardless of like any moral like similarities we might have. That we have to live in the same reality.
Yeah, we should live in the same reality, but that doesn't mean we should have the same opinions as you. But like Destiny uses the same reality as like his worldview. Oh, you don't believe in my truth? Then you're not in the same reality. Like that's his code word for like people that don't live in the same reality. Like that he made like the way he frames it makes it seem like the other person is like on a completely different world and they're delusional and stuff like that. When all Destiny's just saying is his truth. He has a more sophisticated version of saying his truth, and I'm like, bro. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Like, who cares? Like, I can see through your BS.
In order for the country to function, right? Then there are some values that we have to share, and if we don't share these values, you have to be kicked out of the country, right? You agree with that, right?
We do share those values.
Wait.
No, that's actually not how it works here.
Well,
you're an American if you're born in America. We don't kick people out for not sharing our values.
So we have a whole thing called the criminal code, right? And if there are certain things that you disagree with in the criminal code, it doesn't matter. If you do these things, you're incompatible, and we deprive you of your rights, right?
Well, you go to prison. We don't kick you out of the country.
Exactly.
Sure, okay, you're kicked out of society, right? Felons are effectively removed from civil society, and you lose rights, right, for criminal conduct or criminal misconduct, right? Or criminal conduct, I guess, right? So there are a set of things that we have to agree on. At the very least, when it comes to how we treat other people, you can't murder, you can't steal from people or commit arson.
Bro, okay, so we're gonna go back to the main point. He's comparing all of these terrible things like murder, and all the other things that you can get criminally prosecuted for, to literally Trump having a legal theory, believing that his legal theory was true, like legitimate or not. Like, bro,
Where's
come on
Neri?
now.
Wow, she really buried him.
True.
Break it, whatever, right?
This is why I love this video. I needed to finish this. We're only 57 minutes. We're only halfway done. Actually, hold up. She disappears after, okay, so an hour and 16 minutes, that's when she's gone. Like from an hour 16 to an hour 55, so like 45 minutes later, he basically just copes with his other friends that believe the same thing that he believes, and then they just they basically just pat each other in the back. Like,
I think that epistemically there are things that we have to agree on as well.
We all believe the same thing. We're all in the same worldview, and then he feels so good about himself afterwards, and I'm like, bro, okay. I mean, you just talk to people that agree with you, and now he feels so much better about the conversation. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever.
Have to have some shared value in terms of
Where's Neri?
that,
Shame I'll have to watch the end later. Got to get in 30 minutes.
Republics are good things. Now that might take different versions of it. Maybe somebody thinks
you gotta leave in 30 minutes. Okay,
we should balance the electoral college or whatever that might do. But like, if somebody's like, oh, I think that we should just have a king, right? Well, that's not very compatible with American values, right? You agree with that? There has to be like some set of like.
He literally does actually think that that Destiny thinks that conservatives think that they want a king, which is Trump, and I'm like, bro, that's delusional.
Stuck with me and all of the millions of people who agree with me. So what are you going to do with us? Like, you're stuck with us. You have to convince us, or you know what I mean? There's no other option.
That's my goal. My goal is to have a conversation and convince you.
Telling me I'm destroying the country is not going to convince you.
I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying for the audience. That's the difference, right? It's because if I can't communicate with you, then I have to communicate to other people.
You are communicating with me.
I'm not. I can't. We can't share. Okay, I mean, like, you told me earlier that I can't give you a single set of facts that would convince you that Donald Trump knows that he lost the 2020 election.
I disagree with you about that. That doesn't mean that I don't belong in this country or that I'm not a person who loves this.
True. Like, what do you mean? Like, where's the court litigation saying that, oh, Trump, like where's the thing that Trump said, like, where's the court case or the prosecution of Trump thinking that what he said was a lie or not? Like, where is that? There is none, because they didn't prosecute him for that. Because like, he actually believed this. If he didn't actually believe this, then he would have gotten immunity. Like, come on now. Like, if the courts really think that Trump was really trying to pull a fast one, why would the Supreme Court rule like in favor of him? That doesn't make any sense.
This country.
If you don't believe in the results of the last election, would you agree that like the election and the peaceful transfer of power are one of the most important parts of the United States of America?
I think, like I said,
wait, do you agree that do you agree that the
now he's gonna be super autistic and just keep asking the same question over and over and over again? But like, bro, like there was like you just had like 2016 election denial. Like, you were saying, oh, actually, the Russians did have to play a part in the whole 2016 election thing. Like, there was definitely some things that like Hillary was basically, that he agrees that with Hillary saying that the election was bad. Like, we literally heard him say this, and now he's talking about, oh, this is the most important thing, but yet you live in a delusional world where I guess Russia had some part to play in 2016 and how Trump won. Come on now, like, how is this such a big deal? But then when you talk about anything about like Hillary talking like any 2016, like 2020 denial apparently is like so big, but like 2016 denial, that's nothing. That's not important at all. But then he's gonna say that, like the election, obviously just the election itself, who cares about the timeline? Like, if you deny that, then that's like a big deal. But you still support what Hillary said in 2016 though. So that's just ironic, honestly.
I agree that it is paramount.
Okay.
And I agree also, I believe, as the polling found, that 66% of Democrats believe that Putin had stolen the last election and interfered in the tallies, okay? So clearly that cannot be the standard by which we judge who gets to be an American, who gets to be part of our
government.
government.
Yes, true.
That's whatever you're saying here is not true. That's not, that the election was...
Yeah, because if what she's saying is actually true, like, Destiny has no rebuttal to it. So he just has to say, actually, what you're saying is just a lie, so therefore true. Like, bro, you just that's how he dismisses things. He just says that the other person, when she brings up a fact that's actually true, like, nah, actually, you know what, I can't refute that right now, so you know what, my standard still stays because you're just lying. And that's it. Case closed. Like, debate 1. Like, come on now.
Fake or fraudulent? That might have been true in one poll.
Literally intervened in the voting machines and the tallies.
No, I don't want to put you on the spot, but where did this come from? Where did this number or idea come from?
This number of 66%?
Yeah, see, he doesn't even know.
Widely circulated right after the election.
I've seen in 2018 that this is a YouGov poll. 59% of Democrats are very concerned about improper relations between the Trump campaign and Russia.
Well, she literally just said that this was right after the 2016 election, and you're gonna pull up a 2018 thing? Like, what? Obviously, that's not what she was talking about.
That
I can send you.
I thought you were really smart, Destiny.
It's very widely known.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, you can shoot it to me later. But the fact that in the wait
miserable if you think you can only exist in community with people, like if the only people who you think are not destroying this country, like, are people who totally agree with you.
No, I never said totally live in the same reality. If you have to live in the same reality.
Yes, live in the same reality is code for believe in my truth. If you don't believe in my truth, then we're not living in the same reality. Therefore, you guys are delusional and we can't coexist.
I admire you so much. I want to hear everything else. I want to have this conversation with you, but I am destroying America.
Garbage argument.
I don't agree with you about
no,
like,
it's because we are having core fundamental value disagreements. Core fundamental value disagreements is the issue, right?
This is not core fundamental.
This is core. This is more core than anything else we've spoken about.
I agree with you on the value.
The value, no, you're agreeing with me. The value doesn't matter if it's generated after a totally different epistemic foundation, right? If we both say, for instance, we should be kind and compassionate to people, and a person says that I think that compassion is sending my gay kid to a re-education camp to get away the gayness, and another person says, well, I think that kindness is accepting my child as they are and not trying to force them into a different sexuality, right? Both of them can share that value of kindness, but they're coming from a completely and totally different place. There's no shared commonality there. Like, something is completely different between the two, right?
You know what? There's only one way to stop the first parent from doing that and make them become the second person. The second kind of parent, and it's by being in conversation with them. It's not by saying you're destroying this country.
Yeah, but when people on the outside are trying to say that both those parents are the exact same,
you have to have a consensus, right? You have to develop a consensus around things, and it's really amazing.
Yeah, literally, just calling other people delusional or destroying the country is not change. It's not changing the other person's mind or converting any people that
How
actually.
How does he get away with this? I thought he has a reputation of being good at debates. He terrible here.
Yeah, he is.